Dear comrades, May 19th is a memorable day for the communists in Kerala as well as in India and the world over. For us in Kerala, we observe it as the death anniversary of the CPIM's former PB member, State Secretary and former Chief Minister, Comrade E.K. Nayanar. In the Indian context, it acquires greater significance as it is the death anniversary of CPIM's first General Secretary, Comrade P. Sundaraiah, and communists around the world revere today as the birthday of Ho Chi Minh. On such an important day as this, it is indeed an honor for me to pay respects to the memory of Comrade Sundaraiah, a stalwart among Indian communists, as he was instrumental in the formation and growth of the Communist Party in South India, especially in my home state of Kerala. I deem this opportunity to be a special privilege. It was his discussions with the leaders of the Congress Socialist Party from Kerala, P. Krishnapillai and E.M.S. Namboodiripad in Mumbai and elsewhere, which led to his visit to Kerala and the subsequent formation of the first communist unit in Kerala in 1937. We are all well informed of Comrade Sundaraiah's participation in India's freedom struggle through the civil disobedience movement, his incarceration, his empathy for the economically and socially oppressed, his hunger strike in his own village against the upper caste landlords' discrimination, against the Dalits, his induction into the Communist Party while being a college student in Madras, his elevation to the party's Central Committee at the young age of 22, his pioneering work in organizing the peasantry and the agricultural workers, his participation in the historic Telangana peasants' struggle, his interventions as a people's representative in the Rajya Sabha and the Andhra Assembly, his leadership in the CPIM of the national and state level, and so on. Therefore, I am not going into those details. However, what many of us quite often overlook is the fact that in the pre-independence era, when the Indian subcontinent was often ravaged by contagions of various kinds, Comrade Sundaraiah was truly a pioneer in providing assistance to the people. In that regard, he had played a seminal role by setting up medical relief camps along with his brother to help the people as they grappled with cholera and smallpox. At a time when we are engulfed by the COVID-19 pandemic, Comrade Sundaraiah's memory fully severe as an inspiration, and I think it is quite appropriate that we are discussing Corona crisis and the role of governments in this memorial lecture. It has been a year and a half since the world has been tackling the novel coronavirus. We are essentially in the midst of a battle between life and death. As far as governments go, they have the responsibility of protecting both the lives and livelihoods of the people. It is in fact their fundamental duty in a democracy. The LDF government in Kerala was sure of its responsibility right from day one, which is why we were the first in the country to declare a lockdown so that people's lives can be protected. as well as to announce a COVID relief special economic package to the tune of rupees 20,000 crore, so that their livelihoods could be saved. Over the last 4 years before COVID struck, the LDF government had strengthened Kerala's robust public health system. Through the Ardhram mission, we had ensured super specialty services even in district and taluk hospitals. Primary health centers had been upgraded into family health centers. Through the Kerala Infrastructure Investment Fund Board, we have provided an infusion of rupees 1,600 crore to improve the healthcare infrastructure in the state. More than 5,200 additional posts were being created in our public health system. An Institute of Advanced Virology and a Medical Technology Consortium were set up. Through the Life Science Park, studies in biotechnology and medical research were strengthened. Public sector enterprises like Kerala State Drugs and Pharmaceuticals were improved to produce and export medicines. By supplementing the inherent strength of our public health system, we were able to prepare it to confront the onslaught of viruses like Nipah and novel corona. And once COVID struck, we galvanized all our resources in order to tackle the pandemic. As opposed to the central government, the LDF government in Kerala imposed a lockdown after having adequate consultations, making all the required preparations and giving the people advance notice. The center did not resort to any of these measures before going to full lockdown. As a result of it, national level lockdown heaped untold hardships on the people. Kerala was well seized of the fact that when there is restriction, the movement of and interaction between people, it affects social and economic life. That is why much before going into a lockdown on 18th March itself, the government of Kerala announced the special economic package about which I mentioned earlier. It went a great way in helping our people to tide over the ensuing crisis. We took up special measures to care for the daily wage laborers and the marginalized and disadvantaged sections, realizing that all sections of the society would face difficulties. The government provided kits containing essential articles to all. PDS was utilized effectively to ensure universal coverage. Meals were provided through the community kitchens and Kudumbashree hotels. We even took care of our guest workers. Not a single person went hungry in Kerala during this period, and it is a matter of great pride for us. We took up social welfare measures so that the circumstances would be conducive for proceeding steadfastly in the fight against the disease. This strengthened our preventive measure by encouraging the people to adhere to lockdown protocols, as their material needs were met even while they stayed put at home. This was a model intervention by Kerala. At the same time, to strengthen our COVID care, we created temporary posts through the NHM. CFLTCs were set up in all panchayats. We enrolled the help of volunteers and voluntary organizations, staying true to our commitment to decentralization and strengthening of local bodies, ward level committees were formed to help in monitoring and managing the pandemic at the local level. PSUs were directed to produce masks, sanitizers and drugs. Interactions were held with doctors and scientists to assist in tackling the medical emergency. Even before the lockdown was announced, video conferences were held with traders to ensure adequate stock and to manage the supply chain. All these helped us in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic in its first wave. Now we are facing the second wave of the novel corona virus disease. To battle this second wave, we ensured adequate oxygen supply, enough oxygen beds, ventilators and ICUs as required, regulated the rate being charged by private centers for RT-PCR testing, fixed the rates that can be charged by private hospitals for COVID care, and invoked the Essential Commodities Act to restrict the prices of essential articles required for the treatment and care of COVID patients. This really insulated the poor sections from the probable steep rise in the price of medicines and the high cost of medical services. Even now, we are providing free testing and treatment in government facilities. And Kerala took the lead in announcing free and universal vaccination. Rates of welfare pensions have been hiked. Universal free food kits are being issued even now every month, and BPL families are getting special care and assistance. Our commitment all along has been to ensure that not a single person goes hungry and that every possible life is saved. However, we can see how anti-people a government can be if we are to look at the center. Their stand on vaccine pricing laid bare their double speak. Those part of the political outfits of the center have sought to sow communal hatred even amidst this pandemic by playing the blame game. Ultimately, all these communal politics have paved way for the implementation of an aggressive neoliberal agenda. Opening up of strategic sectors, rewriting of labor laws, sale of public sector, demonetization, GST implementation, new farm laws have all happened alongside the propagation of a high-pitched communal rhetoric. Oil prices are being hiked every either day, while their crony friends continue to get tax concessions instead of supplementing people's incomes. They are eating into even the public's hard-earned savings. This is where the alternative policies that are being pursued in Kerala by the LDF government assume greater significance. To ensure that schooling continues uninterrupted even amidst this pandemics, we ensure that every child has access to televised and online classes. To overcome the economic costs incurred due to the lockdown, we devised programs like Subhiksha Keralam and Vyavasaya Bhadrata to increase domestic production so that we can overcome the challenges we could face. Being a consumer state, I am happy that the Sundaraiah Memorial Lecture is being organized every year by the Basavapunnaiah Trust. I gather that during the first wave of COVID, care facilities were operated for 5 months by the trust. It is heartening that now, during this more aggressive second wave of COVID-19, 11 isolation centers are being run by the trust. The fact that you are providing care, medicines and food to people affected by the pandemic is truly inspiring. There can be no better homage to our forebears like Basavapannaya and Sundaraya. Let their memory deepen our commitment to the people. Let that commitment help us to advance the people's struggles so as to realize alternatives. Revolutionary greetings to you all. Thank you.